You know that what you mean by an ARM core processor. So ARM core is an instruction execution unit. So that perform the instruction decoding in execution process, fetching of an instruction, all those things operation. So in order to perform these instruction execution process, that ARM core will consist of an ALU, register set, timing unit, control registers, all those things will be provided in the ARM uh, core of the ARM processor. So sometimes whatever the features that is inside your ARM core, that is not sufficient to improve the performance of your system. So in such case, you need some additional functionalities for your processor to perform faithfully. So you can connect the memory management unit. You can connect the interrupt controller. You can connect the some special memory inside your processor, so that that will benefit the execution speed of benefit the performance of your processor. So that is called as a core extension, that is connecting a additional functional unit to your ARM core. We call it as a core extension. So standard components placed next to the ARM core, so that is called as a core extension. They improve the performance, manage resources, and provide extra functionality, and are designed to provide flexibility in handling particular applications. The main purpose of this core extension is that it will improve the performance, and also it will allow the processor to manage resources like memory and IO facilities, and also it provides the extra functionality. For example, your ARM core usually an integer processor. So when you want to perform a real number, when you want to perform the, or when you want to process the floating point or real numbers, in that case, it takes a lot of time. So in such cases, you may use a dedicated external processors, so that can perform the floating point operation, or real number data can be processed by that additional processor that is attached to the your ARM core. So that usually we call it as a coprocessor. So because of this core extension, that will benefited by the ARM processor. So each ARM family has a different extensions available. So there are 3 hardware extensions ARM wraps around the core, so that you can extend the functionality of your ARM processor by connecting 3 different type of hardware to your ARM core. So first one is the cache and tightly coupled memory. So cache or tightly coupled memory is nothing but it is a special memory that is directly integrated inside the processor. So that will benefit the ARM processor to increase its performance. So it usually consists of a fast access memory, usually of a static RAM, so that the access time of a static RAM will be very fast, so that whichever the data that is repeatedly used or currently is being used in your system, that can be placed on that cache memory or tightly coupled memory. So that will benefit your ARM processor to increase its performance. So like that, tightly coupled memory and cache memory. So you have another option, hardware option to connect for your ARM core, that is memory management unit. So that will allow your ARM processor to manage memory, that is especially the data and the instructions. So different type of data can be managed, and it will allow that memory management unit will allow the protection of your memory, as well as the that the resources, some resources will be provided for your processor, some resource will be global for the another processors or the another functional unit, that is execution unit, that is connected to your system. So this memory management will be useful for handling the memory of your system. And then the coprocessor interface. So third hardware extensions they have provided with ARM processor is that you can connect a coprocessor. Coprocessor is nothing but it is another processor that is especially connected to your ARM core in order to increase the performance. So for example, as I told that your ARM processor usually an integer processor. If you want to process real numbers, so it has to be implemented in the software. If you implement that real number processing in software, it will take more time. So in such cases, you can you have an option to use the additional real number processing hardware for your ARM core. So you can connect it as a co-processor that will perform the processing of a real number. So there is a special instruction set provided in the ARM instruction set so that you can easily handle the co-processor that is attached to your ARM core. So first we'll look at the cache and tightly coupled memory. So the cache is a block of fast memory placed between main memory and the core. So you know that what do you mean by a main memory? So main memory of your system is the one that consists of the data that is currently used by your system. So usually in a sophisticated system, primary memory will be implemented with a RAM. So if your system is having a 2 stages of memory, primary memory and secondary memory will be usually of RAM. So sometimes primary memory may consist of a EEPROM or flash memory, so that that will hold the boot program. So boot program is the one that will be executed first by your system. That will allow the processing information, that is the software and the data that is in the secondary memory that can be placed on the main memory, such as RAM. So from that main memory and the processing core, a special segment of memory will be there. Usually that memory will be external sometimes, or it may be internal inside the processor. So that is called as a cache. Cache is nothing but it is a block of fast memory which is placed between the main memory and the core. The why actually they are having this cache is that there is this is a fast memory, so that the access time of this cache memory will be very less, so that accessing a instruction or a data from the cache will become faster. So you may ask the questions, why we need that cache memory? So already we have a main memory which is implemented using a RAM. So already we know that there are different types of RAM. Basically there are 2 types, that is DRAM and SRAM. DRAM stands for dynamic RAM and SRAM stands for static RAM. So both have its advantages and drawback. So DRAM is the cheapest memory, but it requires a refreshing circuits because information will be stored in the form of charge, and also the access time of the dynamic memory or DRAM will be slow compared to the SRAM. So, but it has an advantage of that it is a cost effective. But in case of SRAM, it has a shorter access time. Because of that shorter access time, you can quickly access the data from the SRAM. So, but for implementing 1-bit storage of a static memory, it takes up to 4 to 6 transistors. So it occupies more space on the silicon chip. So the cost per bit will be high in case of a static RAM. So usually that main memory will be either implemented with a DRAM. Sometimes, as I told, that it may be EEPROM or flash memory that will consist of a boot ROM, a boot program. So we cannot have a larger static memory as a main memory. So which will increase us, the cost of your system. So what they have done that in order to improve the performance of the system, they have provided the additional memory as a cache memory, so that whichever the data that is repeatedly used or which is recently used, that can be placed in the cache memory from the main memory, so that the access time of a cache memory is less compared to the main memory, so that the processing speed of your system will be increases. So that is the main concept of using a cache memory. So ARM has a two form of cache. The first is found attached to the von Neumann style. So already we know that there are 2 types of memory architectures for your processors. That is von Neumann architecture. Another one is the Harvard architecture. So in case of a von Neumann architecture, we have a single bus. So that will be used for accessing program or instructions as well as the data. So single block of memory will be shared for both data and the instructions. So that is the feature of a von Neumann type of ARM core. So in this ARM processor, it supports both von Neumann style of cache interfacing, cache and tightly coupled memory interfacing, and also it supports Harvard type of memory interfacing for your ARM core. So you can see here is an example of a cache memory that is connected to ARM core in a von Neumann architecture. Here you can see So here there is an ARM core. So here in between this ARM core and the logical and control unit and the AMBA bus interfacing unit and the main memory. So in between this main memory and the ARM core, we have a unified cache memory. So it holds both data as well as the instruction. So this is a cache memory is the thing but a fast memory. So which is comes in between the main memory and the ARM core. So here AMBA is the ARM processor advanced microcontroller bus architecture. So that is the bus architecture, primary bus architecture that is used in the ARM processor system. So along with that main memory, there will be a logic and control unit that will provide the necessary control signal to access the main memory and to load the data from main memory into the cache memory. Here one thing you have to understand is that what is the purpose of cache memory. So as I told that usually whichever the data that is currently being used by the ARM processor, data may be it may be instruction and it may be any other data. So here whichever the information that is currently being used by the processor, that will taken from the main memory into the unified cache. So this ARM processor, instead of accessing that information from the main memory, it will take it from the cache memory. So that loading of the cache and transferring the data back to the main memory, that will be controlled by this logic and control unit. So with the help of AMBA bus interfacing. So here one thing you have to observe that there is only one single block of cache memory. So the single block is used for both data as well as the instructions. So this is in case of a von Neumann style of ARM core. So the second form is that attached to the Harvard style core. So ARM processor available in both Harvard style as well as the von Neumann style. So in Harvard style, as we know that there is a separate set of bus for accessing instruction as well as the data. So because of that, we have a separate block of memory for the instruction and separate block of memory for the data. So you can here in this case, you can see here in this diagram. So here we have a ARM core and there is a logic and control unit, and in between this ARM core and the main memory, we have a separate TCM and separate TCM for the data and separate TCM for the instruction. So there is a separate fast access memory for the instruction, separate memory for the data. So this will again allow the processor, it will allow the processor to improve its performance. So whichever the data that is currently being used, that will be placed in the tightly coupled data memory, and whichever the instruction that is currently being used by the ARM processor, that will be taken from the main memory into the tightly coupled memory. So this ARM core will take the data and instruction which is required for its processing from the directly from this tightly coupled memory instead of taking data from the main memory. The advantage of having this TCM, that is tightly coupled memory or the cache memory, is that so they have a fast access time. So because of that, the time required to access this data will be reduced. That will contribute to improve the overall performance of the system. So main memory usually slow ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So tightly coupled memory ಏನಿದೆ, so that will be very fast. So that will benefit your system execution speed. And this is the concept of a cache memory. So cache provides an overall increase in performance, but at the expense of a predictable execution. The predictable execution means, so here the logic and control unit that has to predict whichever the data that is currently being used and whichever the data that is repeatedly used in your system. So that logic and control unit will predict that one. So that will be taken from the main memory into the cache memory. So next hardware extension that we can do with the ARM core is that memory management. So first thing already I have explained, that is you can have a cache memory in between the main memory and the processing core. So another thing is that you can have a separate memory management unit. So ARM core have a 3 different types of memory management hardware. So you have an option, either you can select the any of these following three types of memory management in the ARM processor. So first one is the no extensions providing no protection. So this one is a simplest memory management unit. This doesn't support the extension of memory, and also it doesn't provide the protection to the memory. So second one is a memory protection unit, MPU, that provide a limited protection to your ARM processor memory. And third one is the MMU, that is called memory management unit, which provide a full protection, so that it will provide ARM memory extension as well as the protection, so that once data or the instruction which has been stored into your ARM processor, that can be protected, so from unauthorized access from any other hardware. So this memory management will be take care of that functions. So it will take care of that which data has to be placed in the main memory and which data has to be transferred to the cache memory. So all those data exchange between your processor, cache memory, and the main memory. So all these operations will be controlled by these memory management units. So that's why it is used along with your ARM core. So in case of a no protected memory, is a fixed and provides a very little flexibility. It is normally used for small, simple embedded systems that requires no protection from rough applications. So MPUs employ a simple system that uses a limited number of memory regions. These regions are controlled with a set of special coprocessor registers, and each region is defined with a specific access permission. So this type of memory management is used for system that requires memory protection but not have a complex memory map. So in case of MMU, are the most comprehensive memory management hardware available on the ARM. The MMU uses a set of translation table to provide a fine-grained control over memory. These tables are stored in main memory and provide a virtual to physical address map as well as access permission. So this MMU will allow to extend the ARM processor memory processing ability. So usually that memory access facility of your system will be dependent on the size of the address bus. So if your system is having a 32-bit address bus, you can that system can access up to 4 gigabytes of memory. So that can be extended. Virtually, it can be extended with the help of memory management unit. So that will take care of memory mapping, all those things. So you can extend the physical memory of your system. So that will provide a virtual memory access. So all those operations can be implemented with the MMU. So MMUs are designed for a more sophisticated platform operating system that supports multitasking. So usually when you are designing a sophisticated system which uses an operating system, so in such system, this MMU is going to be useful. So next thing is the coprocessors. So coprocessors can be attached to the ARM processor. A coprocessor extends the processing features of a core by extending the instruction set or by providing a configuration register. So more than one coprocessor can be added to the ARM core via coprocessor interface. The coprocessor can be accessed through group of dedicated ARM instruction that provide a load store type of interface. The coprocessor can also extend the instruction set by providing a specialized group of new instructions. So as I told that coprocessor is the another supporting processor that is connected to your ARM core. So in order to improve the overall performance of your system, so you can connect, sometimes you require additional processors. So you can connect these coprocessors for your ARM processor. There are coprocessors from 0 to 15. So these are given a number from 0 to 15. So you can have a more than one coprocessor at a time connected to your ARM core. So for accessing and controlling these coprocessor in the instruction set of an ARM processor, there is a special group of instructions. So that will allow to control the operations of a coprocessor, and also it will allow the your ARM processor to design a special instructions for controlling the coprocessor. So we will see about that instructions in the second chapter when we discuss about the ARM instructions. So next we will see the ARM processor families. and versions. So ARM processor version and family should not be confused. So version is a special version will give the special or the versions are given in the based on the performance of the ARM processor. Family means it is a group of processor that have the same version feature but little bit modification. So ARM version 1 and ARM1 family ARM processor usually is the first ARM processor that is having a 26-bit addressing bus and 32-bit data bus. So you should remember that. So in now in modern ARM processor, all the processors are of having a 32-bit data bus and 32-bit address bus. But in the first ARM processor, that is in case of version 1 ARM processor or ARM1 family, the address bus of an ARM processor is only 26-bit address. So in the ARM version 2 or ARM2 family, that is also having a same number of addressing, but it has a 32-bit multiplier. In case of our first version of ARM processor, they won't have a separate multiplication processor. They have only an addition and subtraction instruction. Using that addition instruction only, you have to perform the multiplication operation. So and also 32-bit coprocessor has been provided in the second version of ARM processor. So in case of a ARM version 2A, that will consist of a ARM processor family 3, which include a on-chip cache memory, atomic swap instruction. Swap instruction is the one that will swap the data from memory into the register and register to the memory. That will perform read and write operation. So that instruction has been added in the version 3 ARM processor. So that is the cache concept, and that swap instruction will be added to the ARM version 2A, which is available on the ARM 3 family ARM processors. So next, ARM 6 and ARM 7 DI. So these ARM 6 and ARM 7 DI belongs to the ARM version 3. So these are the first ARM processors. They have a 32-bit address. So in ARM 3 or ARM 2, ARM 1, that processors only is having a only 26-bit address. So but ARM 6 and ARM 7 onwards, these processors will have a 32-bit addressing facility, and also separate CPSR and SPSR are provided for the ARM 6 and ARM 7 family processors. And new mode has been introduced in the ARM family, that is undefined instruction abort modes are only introduced in the version 3 ARM processor, that is belong to a ARM 6 and ARM 7 family. So next, even that ARM 6 and ARM 7 family ARM processors include that MMU as well, that will support the virtual memory concept. So in case of ARM 7M, so that is belong to ARM version 3, so which includes a signed and unsigned long multiplication instruction along with the previous features. So they have added the support for the signed number multiplication. So long multiplication means this will allow the multiplication of a even 32-bit numbers directly. So ARM version 4. So strong ARM is the one that is actually designed by the Intel company. So that belongs to ARM version 4. So which includes the load store instruction for signed and unsigned half word and byte. So we will see that there are different types of load store instructions. Some load store instruction will transfer 32-bit data, some transfer 16-bit data, some transfer 8-bit data. So in the ARM version 4 onwards, that is especially in the strong ARM, they have provided that half word and byte load store instructions. And new mode has been introduced, that is system mode. And reserved SWI space for the architecturally defined operations, and 26-bit addressing mode no longer supported. So here in from ARM version 4 onwards, so they won't compatible with the previous family of processor, because these processors are 32-bit having a 32-bit memory address. So ARM version 4T. So ARM version 7, ARM 7, TDMI, ARM 9T. So these are belong to the ARM version 4T. So T stands for thumb instruction. So that secondary instruction has been provided only after the ARM version 4T onwards. So any processor that belongs to ARM7 TDMI. That means that supports the T stands for thumb instruction. So that have a secondary 16-bit instruction that will allow the processor's code density, that will allow the higher code density. Next, ARM version 5 TE. So that is ARM 9E and ARM 10E. So supports ARM version 40, extra instructions added for changing the state between ARM and thumb, enhanced multiply instruction, extra DSP type instructions, fast multiply accumulate unit. So all those things will be implemented in the ARM version 5 TE onwards. So in case of 5 TEJ, Java acceleration and improved multiprocessor instructions, unaligned and mixed endian data handling, new multimedia instructions, all those things has been provided in the ARM 11 and ARM 7 EJ and ARM 9 to